Hey, what's happening? Chad Allen here. And tonight is going to be a very interesting topic. I think you'll find it very interesting. And with the news of the COVID 19 vaccine that is predicted to come out by mid December, I believe that it will. Um, it's going to be big news for a lot of people. So what I want to go over tonight is a little bit about vaccines, a new study that just came out on office visits, those who are vaccinated versus those who are not vaccinated. And then I will go into go into how you can actually uh, naturally get yourself immune to certain things without actually having a vaccine if that's something that you do not want. So that is something to think about. But if it's a vaccine that you're really wanting, then hey, that is certainly your choice to do. We all have medical rights, and those medical rights cannot be trampled on. So everybody has the right to choose their own medical freedom. So my name is Chad Allen, and I help professionals and their families have a transformational life so that they can spend more time together and not miss those very special moments. Back in 2015, I was married to a very beautiful Filipina, and we had a very happy life. And by February, she became pregnant with a beautiful, now 4-year-old daughter. And so everything was going well during the pregnancy, and when when she was 30 weeks pregnant, unfortunately, we found out that she had breast cancer. And during that time, it was a very devastating time. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to making decisions and whatnot. And we ended up at the end of the day, we ended up deciding to hold off until after our daughter was born at week 37. So we forced our daughter birth at week 37. And so after our daughter was born, we come to find out that my wife was actually a stage 4 cancer. And yeah, so it was a very difficult time, and you can only imagine the agony that you go through, the pain that you go through. And so we did chemo and integrative treatments here in the United States, and it wasn't my wife got super duper depressed. She was very depressed, and she wanted to be close to the family. So we made a decision to be close to family, and we did some treatments there in the Philippines, and nothing continued to work. And it was a very aggressive cancer. And unfortunately, by the time my daughter was 9 months pregnant, my wife died of the breast cancer. Now, during the time that my wife was fighting the cancer, we actually had the blessing of friends who donated various things to us, like products, uh, money, and those kind of things. And one particular product we really did not take super duper serious as we should have. And then after my wife died, I really was thinking for a moment of, you know, if I really would have taken this more serious, if we would really have done more with this, perhaps my wife would have lived longer, or maybe she would have recovered. I don't know, but it's something that goes through your mind all the time. So I started studying that particular product more and more, and come to find out it was something that would be super duper helpful for a lot of people. And it is something that is why I do what I do now, because I don't want people to go through what I went through with my wife. and I don't want people to go through the kind of illnesses that they get with COVID-19, because people do suffer with COVID-19. And so if it's like, if people would take, if people really take serious what I can give them, what I can offer them, they would really see a difference in their life dramatically. I really believe that with all of my heart, soul, and mind. So, brings me to this point. This past Sunday, there was a study that just came out about vaccination, and with COVID-19 vaccine coming out, uh, reportedly by middle of December, it got me thinking about, how can we, for those who don't want to take the vaccine, how can they get immune to things like the COVID-19 if they don't get a COVID-19 vaccination? And so, first, what I'll do is I'm going to go over this particular vaccine study, and then we'll go over what exactly it is that will help you. And so this past Sunday, there was a study that was released in the International Journal of Environmental and the Environmental and Public Health Journal, and it was really amazing to really see the variations that of the hospitalizations or the office visits for the children who got vaccinated versus those who did not get vaccinated. And this particular study really shined a light on something that I believe is going to have a lot of repercussions to come, and especially with people who are seeking uh, retribution for the injuries that they have received from getting a certain kind of vaccine. And what's really amazing, but now go ahead. And what I'll do is I'll post the link here right now for you, so that you can see it. All right. So that way you know exactly where I am talking. So that's, if you go to that web link, it will take you to the study that I am talking about. And the part 2 study is going to be all about uh, the different types of vaccines. So that's good. That's their follow-up study. So anyway, so back to the office visits. So in this particular study, they looked at those children who were vaccinated from the time they were born until the time they were not required to have vaccines anymore, which would be the end of their school age. And so they look at all of these cases, like over 10,000 cases, and what's really amazing about this is the vast differences between those who were vaccinated, and when you look at it, those who were not vaccinated, the incidence of office visits were much, much lower compared to those who were vaccinated. And there were two very distinctive, maybe three very distinctive differences between when you're looking at ADHD, when you're looking at anemia, even asthma, when you're looking at people who have asthma. Uh, those are probably the three of the biggest issues like that people have, right? They have asthma, they have ADHD, they have maybe an anemic disorder, or maybe they have something else, like ear pains or eye problems, or maybe they're having increased respiratory infections and stuff like that. Well, when you look at the charts in this particular study, you're going to see that the incidence of all those things that I just mentioned to you are much higher for those who are vaccinated versus those who are not vaccinated. So, and you like anemia. I mean, you're the when people who are not vaccinated, it's kind of a flat line. And then you look at the people who are vaccinated, it stays at a flat line. And as soon as they get the vaccine, it turns at almost practically at a 90-degree angle, and then levels off. Whereas those who are ADHD, right? They're going through life. They don't have this whatever particular vaccines that they have, and it stays about the same. But as soon as they get this one a particular vaccine, all of a sudden the incidence of ADHD skyrockets. It goes from this to this, where the non-vaccine people are more of a flat line. And the same thing could be looked at for those who have asthma. When you're looking at the asthma differences, it's still a slight rise of those who are not vaccinated. But then when they get vaccinated, it goes up like this and then curves more. So, so what is this study really saying about vaccines? Are they safe or are they not safe? And this is a question that you really have to ask yourself when you are considering to get a vaccine, because there's a lot of people who are going to get the COVID-19 vaccine, and they may run into more problems than what they are hoping to get into. People say, "Oh, I got the flu vaccine. I got this," but in every vaccine, there is a group of people that will always have a reaction, and then there are people that would never have a reaction to a vaccine. So you have to ask yourself: is this something that's worth getting into, if 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 it's available? And that's really something that you have to make a decision for yourself. I would encourage you, though, to take a look at this particular study and to see if it's something that you are wanting to take a look at, because I really believe it will really help you in the end. Okay, so let's say you don't want to get the vaccine. So what are some ways that you can get immune to these type of things and not have to have a vaccine? Well, one of the ways is a product that I offer. This right here, and that particular product has helped so many people, especially with COVID-19 and also autoimmune and whatnot. A very quick story. I have a friend. Actually, I'll give you. I have two friends. Okay, one friend I actually offered this to, and unfortunately, they never saw the message, and they end up getting COVID-19, and unfortunately, they end up dying. Devastating, absolutely devastating. If they had what I had, I really believe they would have lived, or at least had a better fighting chance at living. The second person saw what I was offering, and they wanted it. So this person has been fighting a high temperature of a 105-degree temperature for like 10 days. And for during that 10 days, they are definitely quarantined. And so they are not getting better. And they call the doctor, and the doctor just tells them, "Oh, continue to take your vitamin C, continue to take your zinc, continue to take Tylenol or Advil over the counter, for your temperature. But you had to stay quarantined in your home for the required quarantine. You can't go to the hospital. You can't do anything." But these people are not getting better. They're not getting better. And the doctor is just telling them, this is what you got. This is what you have to do. So, in other words, these poor people who are fighting COVID 19, they're not getting better, they're having a high temperature, and yet their doctor is telling them that he can't do anything for them. He can't do anything for them. Why? You're the doctor. You're supposed to be helping your patients, right? So what does my friend do? He gives me a call and he wants to know more about what I have for that I can give to them that would help them. So I did. I shared with them what the product does. I shared with them how it will help them and how they should take it. And did you know? And did you know that within 2 days they no longer had a their 105-degree fever? They started taking it Monday, and then by Tuesday evening, no more no more temperature, no more 105-degree temperature. By the next day, they are feeling much better, way better, and they're still on a road to a full recovery, from their COVID-19, all because of this right here, all because of that. So when I share this with people, yes, are they always going to take it seriously? No, because sometimes it's not. You won't know until you actually experience it, until you actually take it and really appreciate it, for what it can really do for you. And this is one way that you can. This is one way that you can protect yourself. One way to help yourself get immune to certain kinds of illnesses, because viruses and bacteria. This is one way that you can do that without getting a vaccine. I have not ever had a vaccine. I took the flu vaccine one time in my life, one time, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. I never had it since. I've been taking this for the last 1 year, 1 year, and the one time that I did get a fever earlier this year, and the sinuses and that kind of thing, which is I believe was COVID. I did not get tested, but I believe it was COVID. My fever left me after a day. After a day and a half, it was completely gone, and and then after 2 days, I began to have massive improvement in my symptoms. So you want to get well? Then you take what I got, because it's going to help you. I really believe that. You want to get vaccinated? That's your choice. But I'm telling you, if you don't want to get vaccinated, this is what you need for sure. If you did get vaccinated, this is what you need, because you can't depend on a doctor that's telling you to stay indoors, quarantine, and you're not getting better. You're staying the same. You still have a 105-degree temperature, and they tell you not to even go to the hospital, and so you're left hanging. You're left hanging, and they tell you, "Oh, just take the vitamin C, just take the zinc, just take your Advil or your Tylenol, for the temperature. You'll be okay. You'll be okay." But these poor people, especially if they have comorbidities, they have to have help. They have to have help. They have to get to the hospital, or they have to do something else immediately. And praise God. Praise God for this right here, that they are now in full recovery. If it wasn't for that, I don't know. I don't know if they. I'm not sure how much longer they would be able to stay the same before they either got worse or maybe even got better. I don't know, but this is something that you really got to take serious. So, hey, listen, I'm going to let you go, but that's one way that you can do it. And message me in the comments below, or message me by through private messenger, and I will share more with you all about it. Okay, you guys have a blessed day. You take care. Bye bye. See you later.